I don't remember exactly when it started. That's the problem. There isn't a clear moment where I can say, yes, that's when everything went wrong. It just slipped into my life quietly, like it had been always there. The first time I didn't think much of it. It was a normal afternoon. I was sitting with a friend, just talking about random things, nothing serious. Then she suddenly said, "By the way, are you still going tomorrow?" I looked at her. "Going where?" She frowned a little. "You literally told me yesterday. The thing near your house. You said you were finally going." I laughed. "No, I didn't." She stared at me for a few seconds, like she was trying to figure out if I was joking. "Stop it. You were explaining it in detail. You even said you were nervous." Something about the way she said it made me uncomfortable. Not scared, just off. I brushed it off. "Maybe you are confusing me with someone else." She didn't argue. By the way, she looked at me after that, like she knew I was wrong. It happened again 2 days later. Different person. This time it was more specific. "You changed your mind again?" he asked casually. "About what?" He looked confused. "You said you were done with all that. You said you don't want to be that person anymore." I felt a small pause in my chest. "I never said that." He laughed. "You are acting weird today." "No, seriously, I didn't." The laughter stopped, and for a moment we just stared at each other. "You told me that last night," he said slowly. "Not just that. You were talking a lot, like a lot more than usual." That line stayed with me. A lot more than usual. That night, I couldn't sleep properly. I kept replaying everything, trying to remember, but there was nothing. No memory, no feeling, no blank gap, just nothing. Then it started happening more often. Not big things at first, small conversations, comments. I supposedly make jokes. I don't remember saying opinions I never had. But then it changed. People didn't just remember conversations, they remembered details, very specific details. One day someone told me, "You said you hate quiet places because they remind you of something." I froze. I never said that. Not to anyone, not even to myself, clearly. "What are you talking about?" I asked. "You told me that you even described it." "Described what?" They hesitate. "A place?" Something about that moment felt wrong. Not confusing, not strange, wrong. Like something has crossed a line it wasn't supposed to. After that, I started paying attention carefully to everything. I checked my phone, messages, calls, voice notes. Nothing unusual. No evidence, no missing time, no signs of anything, but people kept talking, casually, normally, as if nothing was wrong. "You were telling me about it yesterday. You said you'll never forget that day. You told me not to mention it again." "What day?" The scariest part wasn't that they remembered things I didn't say. It was how normal they were about it. No hesitation, no doubt, just certainty. And then one conversation changed everything. It was late evening, quiet. I was already on the edge that the whole day. Then someone sat next to me and said, "Are you okay?" I nodded, yeah. They looked at me for a few seconds, then said something that made my stomach drop. You don't sound like you did yesterday. I didn't reply. You were different, they continued. How? They took a moment before answering. You were calmer, like you already knew everything. I felt cold. And you said something weird, they added. What did I say? They looked directly at me. You said, it's easier when I'm not the one in control. I don't remember saying that. I would never said that. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I stayed awake, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of everything, trying to find any explanation that sounded even slightly normal, but nothing did. Around 3 a.m., I finally got up, walked to my desk, picked up my phone again, just to check one more time, and that's when I noticed something, a voice recording. It wasn't there before, I'm sure of it. No timestamp, I recognized. No memory of recording it. My hands felt cold as I pressed play. At first, silence, just soft background noise like a room at night. Then a voice, my voice, but different. Calmer, slower, controlled. It said, they are starting to notice. I stopped breathing. The recording continued. I told you this would happen. I couldn't move. They remember me more than you now. My finger tightened around the phone. And then the last line, don't worry, I'll handle it when you are gone again. The recording ended. I didn't know how long I sat there, staring at the screen. Because the scariest part isn't that I don't remember saying those things, it's that everyone else does.